Let's say, hypothetically speaking, we had ourselves an infinite amount of emeralds. And let's say with these infinite amount of emeralds, we went out to buy an infinite amount of bottles of enchanting. If that were the case, then that begs the question, how much XP could we get, and how quickly could we get that XP? Let's try answering that by starting off small. I got me an entire stack of bottles of enchanting, and I'm gonna manually give it to myself. And at least from the start, it's actually pretty quick from the looks of things. But from an entire stack, we only got 17 levels, which when you consider you need at least 30 to max enchant, that's honestly not much. And if we had an infinite amount of bottles of enchanting, can you imagine how long that would take to get yourself a lot of XP all at once? Like you had to manually bottle enchant yourself 1,000 levels. That's not happening. So let's start scaling things up a little bit by using some redstone. Because if we're honest with ourselves, this is the only main way you could give yourself a whole bunch of XP all at once using bottles of enchanting. And if we have an entire dispenser filled up with bottles, pull the lever, hop in here, and okay, now we're talking. Now we're moving along with a whole bunch of XP at once. Oh, we're almost there. Almost at 30. Couple more levels. And there we go. Level 30, and we still have quite a few more bottles left. And from an entire dispenser, we got 43 levels of XP, which for the average player would actually be a decent amount of levels. But again, we are a player with an infinite amount of bottles of enchanting. So if I'm honest looking at it that way, 43 levels is nothing. So let's keep scaling this up. 4 dispensers, completely filled to the brim with bottles of enchanting. So if we flick this, hop inside of here, and now let's see how many levels we're actually going to get. Also in first person, it is very, very flashy, which is why I'm going to be looking in third person most of the time. Jeez, we're already about to pass our max from last time. Like, seriously, one dispenser got us 43 levels, and we're only just starting, and we've already surpassed that. And for 4 dispensers, we're at level 74 now, which is definitely quite a bit more than just one dispenser of bottle of enchanting, but not as much as I was expecting overall, which means there's only really one thing to do about this. Make an even bigger XP dispensing unit, but instead of having 1 or 4 or maybe even 8, how about maybe 60 separate dispensers, each filled up with bottles of enchanting? Oh, and if I thought the flash was bad before, I bet it's gonna be even worse now, and yeah, this is bad. This is a really bad when it comes to flashing. And when it comes to frame rate, oh my goodness, this is not something I was expecting to have happen. Jeez, look, we're already about to pass. We're past 74 levels. We are already past, and again, we have just gotten started. Can you imagine something like this happening in real life? Like, can you imagine all the broken glass bottles all over the place? I think we're about halfway done, and we're already at level 130. The game is still just about running, just about. The frames are pretty much non-existent at this point, but it's still just about running. Is there any way to check how many bottles are left? Like, okay, I'm trying to open a dispenser. The game is literally struggling so bad. Trying to open my inventory, trying to even pause the game, and nothing. What if I try stopping it for a second? I can't find the lever. Oh, wait, is that it? It's over? We're done? I actually opened my inventory there? Oh, jeez, that was a lot more than I was expecting. But from 60 dispensers, 241 levels. That's actually quite a lot. That's actually, when you really think about it, that's actually quite a decent number of levels. But for the cost of all your frame rates, is that completely worth it? I'll leave that up for interpretation. You know what, actually? What if we try just turning off every fancy thing and everything like that? The game looks horrible, but maybe it'll benefit us with the frame rates if we try this again. Well, I guess there's only really one way to find out. It's a little better. Nope, it's just as bad. It's definitely just as bad as it was before. Okay, so that begs the question, how are we gonna use our infinite amount of bottles of enchanting without completely torching the game? You know, actually, I might have an idea. It might be a bad idea, but it is at least an idea. I've scaled down until I have 20 dispensers now, but in exchange, I've actually been able to place in chests and hoppers linking into these dispensers, which means that A, it should hopefully be a whole lot less laggy, but more importantly, B, should still allow me to get a whole bunch of levels. And let's see, and okay, the frames aren't perfect, but they are definitely way better than what we had before. And we're still getting so many levels all at once. I mean, look at how fast that XP bar is going up. And here's something I've noticed. Like, right in the center, you can only hear the splashing of the XP bubbles, but when you head off to the side, you can hear the dispensers a whole lot more clearly. Like, it makes sense, but still, I'm only 2 blocks away from all these dispensers. Like, how crazy is that? And since there's so many XP bottles being dispensed from only a few dozen dispensers, this did take a little bit longer than previous methods. But by the time everything got empty, I'm now at 288 levels. With, again, most of the time, not too bad a frame rate. I mean, not too good either, but it was at least reasonably bad rather than absolutely bad. So I guess in our hypothetical scenario where we have an infinite amount of XP bottles, and you don't want to absolutely destroy the game with all the bottles being dispensed, something like this might be ideally what we want to build. Also, I say hypothetically infinite, but if you really think about it, like, bottles of Enchanting and Emeralds kind of are infinite. And with that food for thought, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.